Okay, so we're gonna move palpating for a posterior sublux rib. So basically you'll go out about 3 finger widths away from the spinous process and palpate down. And I found a little bit of a tight spot right here around her fourth rib, but I'm just gonna keep going. And you can also feel for anterior sublux rib here because it'll feel more dented in. So you go all the way down to the end of the spine. I'm gonna stick with this one up here. And to make sure it's not a laterally compressed rib, you'll want to come around to the front and use your landmarks. So I think it's about the fourth rib because I'm about one level below the spine of the scapula, which is T3, so I'm at 4. And then I'm going to come around your chest if that's okay. And then if it's a female, you want to tell them to move their breast tissue. And then I'm just going to palpate on down. Is that right? Does that feel like it's moving in between? Okay. So it doesn't really feel like it's stuck out anteriorly, so that makes me think it's just a posterior sublux rib. So I'm going to monitor at that point, and I'm going to abduct her shoulders for about 90 degrees. And what we want to do is, usually you want to feel movement here, but for this one, the energy into the joint to that rib is more important. So what we want to do is just push to that rib. We don't want to do like this sort of motion, okay? So we're just pushing into that rib. And for the posterior sublux, you're going to do a front stroke or a forward crawl. You can also palpate and just kind of see where does it feel like it relaxes more. Dr. Weston wants something a little bit more explicit for this, so just do the forward crawl if it comes down to it. So I'd add compression, and then I'm just going to do the forward motion. And I probably shouldn't have come back. You want to just go forward, maintain your compression, then release, and bring it back down, and then you would rescreen and see if it became less prominent. And there's a tissue texture change for sure. I don't know if I fixed the rib, but. So if we're pretending that Elizabeth has an anterior sublux rib, what you could do is palpate down the back of the spine, 3 finger widths out from the spinous process, and feel for a divot in the front. Or you can palpate down the anterior portion of the rib parasternally and see if there's something sticking out. You just want to be sure to avoid any tissue. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the arm abducted up to about 90 degrees, and then we're going to put it into the ease. So we're going to move the arm forward. Then we're going to add energy, and then we're going to do a backward sort of stroke. So bring it up, down, and then release compression, and then we would rescreen.
So you've done your full style screen, and then you palpate out laterally. You find it's a rib. You've done your full rib screen, and now you're going to fix it with a still technique. So Katie has her right hand, her caudate hand, on the rib angle, and she palpated to find one that was sticking out or felt like a different texture, and I confirmed that it was tender. And she has this hand where she's going to kind of move my arm up and down until she feels that there's motion under. Okay, good.
Maybe.
And so the lower the rib, the higher the arm is going to be. Which rib are you on right now?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Okay. And she'll add compression. And now she's going to see if I like external rotation or internal rotation.
You like external?
And it softens.
Yes, it softens under my hand.
And now she's going to see if she can bring me anteriorly or posteriorly, and whichever one is softer.
I think it's anterior.
So she'll keep the compression and the external and bring me anteriorly and release compression.
And then rescreen. It can also work for externally torsed ribs. We haven't really taught you guys that, but it's just if the rib sort of bows out, or it could even bow in, so it'd be internally torsed. So this will work for inhaled or exhalation dysfunctions or the torsions. And with the torsions, you usually have a thoracic dysfunction with that, so that can kind of key you in.